If you've been looking at some of the largest truck campers built, look no further than Host. Behind me we have the Host Yukon. This is one of their largest models and one of the largest campers ever built. A three-slided behemoth. This is going to be something that gives you ample amount of space to be able to spread out while you're camping on the back of your truck. Now, the benefit of having one of these larger truck campers versus getting one of the maybe smaller RV vans is going to be that you don't have to pack up every time you want to go out for dinner or anything like that. You can drop this camper, leave it as a stationary home, and go out and explore. That is one of the benefits of having these truck campers. And before it was limited at space, amenities, now you've got something that gives you all the space and amenities that you might get on a travel trailer or a small motorhome. So let's take a look inside this Host Yukon and see what makes it an exceptional choice for long-term travel on the back of your truck. All right, so 19 feet and 3 inches from tip to tail. You can see why this gives you so much room. We did do a video on the Cascade, which is actually a foot shorter, and you're gonna be able to tell the difference on that interior because that one's actually gonna be a 2-slide. This one's gonna be a 3-slide and a foot longer. Feel free to click the link below because we do have that walkthrough on there if you're interested in that model. But on the Yukon, it is going to have very similar amenities in terms of the slide topper awnings, the dual pane insulated windows, and that is a reflective glass, so it actually helps prevent a lot of the UV radiation coming into your camper and heating it up. On the jacks themselves, they're always going to be on a dually bracket because this is going to be an extremely heavy camper at just under 4,000 pounds dry, and that's without the options on board. Now, speaking of options, there are plenty of different options for Hosts in general, all the way from solar to countertops color. So make sure to reach out because we can go through all those options with you. We have plenty of people who are well versed in the Host campers themselves, so they'll be able to outfit it exactly how you're looking to use it. They are 2,500 pound capacity jacks on each corner for a total of 10,000 pounds of capacity, plenty to hold this camper and everything that you put in it. Now let's jump around back, talk about tank size and also storage on the exterior of this Host Yukon. So boom, first thing you notice is actually going to be this massive window. Now again, this is going to be something that is dual pane, so you do not only get that ability to get all that light and be able to see so much out of your camper in terms of nature, but you also have that insulation factor. Now we were going to talk about storage on the outside, right? So this right here is actually the generator compartment. This one is not outfitted with a generator, so it doesn't have that vent package there, but it's also large enough. They made this opening large enough to be suitable for a Honda carryout generator if you wanted to put that on after the fact. You do have your outdoor shower, and then you also have your gray tank flush valve here, a generator on-off switch, which is just going to be standard. They put it on everything. 110 outlets and your coax cable, as well as your shore power on the outside and your sewer hose storage down below. If you don't do a generator, this is a great storage option for different things that you might want to house on the outside. I always side with saying this is where you put all your dirty motorcycle gear when you're riding and having a hot, sweaty ride. Now, moving to the rear here, you can almost see all slides. So this is going to be one slide, another slide on the rear. And they do have the ladder up here. The ladder is really stable. I know it's on a slide. I always have a little bit of pause with that, but their slide mechanisms are very sturdy. Climbing up there is the biggest effort is actually getting up to that first step because it does sit so high. So this camper is on the ground and the step is this high. I can't imagine if it's up on a truck and trying to get to that first step. Down below, let's get a closer look on the rear of the storage area. Okay, let's look at some of the rear storage here. So we're just at the back side of the trailer. You can tell by the brake lights right there. Now, if we open this up, this is actually where your battery storage would be if you had lead acid batteries in here. It is a great option, but there are also, again, different options that you can put on this camper. This one is situated with the off-grid package, and that is going to give you 600 amp hour lithium battery, which actually sits in a different storage compartment. So that battery compartment, or that battery system, is actually going to take up part of the storage that's in this rear storage bank. this, regardless, is going to be a massive amount of storage space for you to be able to use. Now, just behind that, and I'll get a closer shot of that for you, is going to be the battery and battery management system. It does take up quite a bit of room, but my goodness, this is a ton of storage. If you've been in the camper world and had different campers in your lifetime, just this alone would probably compensate for all of the storage that you've had on a previous camper. So being able to have this, especially for long term, this is essentially a garage. You could fit probably a folding bike in here if you wanted. That is a huge benefit for having one of these host campers. This is just the sheer amount of storage. Now, next to this is going to be your propane tank. Now, this one is actually outfitted with one 30-pound propane tank. Now, a little bit smaller than what you actually had on when we looked through the Mammoth, which has two 30-pound tanks. But this has been optioned more for having an electric package with that larger battery system. All right, so we are on the passenger side of this truck camper. This is where your entry actually is on here. It is a nice wide entry space on your camp side, so your awning will go directly over that door, which is really nice to have, especially on those little bit sprinklier days. Slide top awnings on all the slides is an option that I think I recommend on almost anything. If you have a chance to be able to protect your camper in any way, slide top or awnings is probably one of my favorites. It just keeps the debris from collecting up there, pushing in and out against that seal. Now, on these campers, that is a TPO roof, fully walkable. It's a great material to keep it from degrading in the sunlight, UV degradation, anything like this. Now, this is outfitted with the off-grid package. There's plenty of different solar packages that are available. This one's gonna have 3 200-watt solar panels for a total of 600 watts on board. You can option up to 6 200-watt solar panels or 1,200 watts total. Which is absolutely phenomenal if you are looking for a long-term off-grid camping. And they also have inverter packages, which you can run your AC and your microwave off of, and your 110 outlets. So even having a generator on board becomes redundant, which is a phenomenal addition for these truck campers to be able to go long-term wherever you want. Now let's take a look inside and see what the space you can get on this camper truly is. And that would be something that is worth noting. So on here, the slides are in. So we have the rear slide in and the driver slide in. You cannot enter with those slides in. You're gonna have to move them out to be able to get in and get to the bathroom, or if you wanna get to the fridge, if you wanna throw groceries in there. So the buttons are down here, so it makes it really nice. I can just hit that. See how long it is. Now, if you want to count, you don't have to do both slides actually. You can just do the rear slide to get in. So as we step in here, this is a 78-inch ceiling height. I'm 6'5", so I do have a bit of room to spare. Now, the tank sizes on here are absolutely phenomenal. So we have a 65-gallon freshwater tank. That is going to last you a very long time. Compared to its sink usage, bathroom usage, you are going to be hard-pressed unless you're taking various luxurious showers. So if you're familiar with these larger truck campers, the 1165 from Eagle Cap is kind of a similar layout. But it does have like that rear recliners in there, but this one is going to give you a lot larger recliners and delete that storage space that was on the side there. So these recliners, there's two options on the recliners. These are actually really comfy. This is the pleather or faux leather option. Huge rear window, so you have plenty of light coming in. The other option of these is going to be more of a woven material. It's going to have a thicker thread, so if you're worried about spills or maybe you have pets, this is going to be much easier to clean. Now on here you also see this mount. This is actually, we'll spin around and look at the table setup, but this is set up for a table as well. So if you wanted to eat, watch TV, maybe work with the recliners, that's a great option. Or if you wanted to work on the two standard over here, you'd be able to do that as well. So there's a couple different layouts that you can get on the Host Yukon. Now this is going to be the one with the rear recliner and this nice lagoon table. So you've got plenty of space for seating for 4 easily, and then a nice working platform. It makes it a really communal feel, but also gives you a lot of options to be able to sit around, relax, get a little bit of change of scenery. Here is the example of the entertainment system. So this is going to be fairly similar to what you'd find on a lot of the Host campers. So in the center here, you're going to have your control panel up top. So that's going to have your tank checks, as well as a fuse box and some of your exterior lighting. On the side, we'll come look at this a little bit later, but it's going to be your battery check as well as your solar panel monitors. And then it comes down to your 12-volt TV, your thermostat, as well as your entertainment system for your music. That's going to be a Jensen for all of your music. And then we have 12-volt USB, USB 3. And then below that, you have an optional fireplace that does work on 110. So the kitchen is actually going to have a layout similar to what the Cascade was. It's going to have that angled sink, which is one big basin sink. And the nice thing about these sinks too is it's part of the countertop, so it wraps all in. It's not 2 pieces on there. So getting scraps and everything pushed in there, cleaning off your countertops makes it a cinch. 2-burner stove is standard. You do have options for a oven if you wanted to take out any of this space down here, which is actually ample deep storage. A lot of storage throughout. Now, one thing that's nice about this particular kitchen setup is it does have an extension on the side if you wanted more working space. So it kind of gives you that 270-degree workspace on here. In terms of storage, this is going to open more towards your entryway. So this is going to be more of a hanging locker than anything. Up above is going to be more storage for your kitchen, pretty deep. You can put your plates, forks, anything like that. And then you have a convection microwave as well. All right, so moving further up into the camper, this is on the kitchen side. You do have the 12-volt fridge freezer. This is going to be a lot deeper, a lot easier to cool, and you can run it going down the road. I know there's a lot of different debate about 12-volt fridges at this point. Feel free to leave your opinion down below. I'd love to hear what you guys think. On this side is actually going to be a lot more storage. So it's going to be fairly shallow, maybe 6 inches deep, all the way up and down, but a great addition to storage for especially food, because it's going to be right next to your kitchen space. And then behind me is actually going to be a step up into the passenger side bedroom area. So let's take a look inside here and see what the bedroom looks like. So one of the nicest things I do like about the Yukon in particular is that you can get in on either side, so you don't have to crawl over each other on the bed. So if you're sleeping on the passenger side, you got your own entry through the kitchen. If you're sleeping on the driver's side, you got your own entry through the bathroom. Now, pretty traditional layout in terms of the storage space up here. 110 outlets, USB 2 and USB 3, and reading lights up top with USB plugs in that as well. The storage lockers, they are hanging lockers in there, and you do have option for roadside ward. One thing to note is this is a queen size bed. If you were wondering, yes, they do have king size options. So this is your bathroom area. There's a door right here, which is actually on a piano hinge, which is a hinge that goes all the way down. So it's a very solid one. You don't have like 1 or 2 on there. So it's going to hold up for a long term. The sink area is really nice. What I'm sitting on right now is actually the toilet. And the reason why this is so low over my head is because it is it's part of the slide. So I'm sitting on the slide right now, and sitting on the propped up toilet. So it does add to the space because it pushes it out, but you get a little bit cramped when you're sitting, going to the bathroom. In terms of storage on here, you do have your medicine cabinet up top, nice lighting up there. And then you do have a 110 outlet right around the corner if you wanted to run any of your hair dryer, charge an electric toothbrush, something like that. And then underneath you got your toilet roll holder as well as some more storage and then access to plumbing. So stepping into the shower at 6'5", I have room to stand up in here. I can move all around. I've got elbow room. It does have this sliding shower curtain, which does a great job of keeping all of the water on the inside and not the outside, because this is a dry bath. It's a massive dry bath for a truck camper. I mean, one of the biggest things that I have to keep reminding myself is that I'm sitting or standing on the back of a truck. It is absolutely mind-boggling how much room is in here. Shower head is a little bit long, but it's nice and easy to use. And that's the shower. So that has been a look through one of the largest truck campers on the market. Over 19 feet in total length, with an amazing 63 gallons of fresh water. This is a behemoth to keep you out camping for the long term. It has plenty of different options, from solar packages, lithium, to kitchen setups, to actual layouts of this camper, all the way down to the tabletop colorways. If you have any questions on those options, feel free to give us a call. We have people who are well versed in each one of those options to be able to suit what you're looking for. Now, if you're interested in this model in particular, we do have it linked down in the description below. And if you liked this tour and you want to see more of these, feel free to subscribe, like this video, share it with your friends, because we would love to get you more footage of these different trailers and campers to give you a better look inside of the trailer and camper world.